Alrighty here, Tyson. As I mentioned, I sent out some listings to myself, so I get this email right here, copy of listings, and then I can click this right here to see what I had sent somebody. And this is the client view. So they're, of course, not going to see the private view. But here is the interactive version. They can kind of see it kind of like you do and go through some of these items here to see the detail or the photos, the map, and so on. So then this is what they are getting. It says your name here. Hey, Brad sent me some listings. Hey, check these out. And they get to see them, and it's going to look like the same thing we just saw. So those are there. Back to the MLS. I got to go here now. I'm going to go back home. And I'm going to run a CMA. So here is a property of mine. We actually just had the appraisal today. Okay, so I want to run a CMA on this for my appraisal. So here's my select button. And I'm also going to come over here and copy that so I can auto-populate the field. I'm going to go CMA, use selected. Full CMA is checked. And this says statistical average field, square feet above grade. I'm going to go next step. I'll just say test. And I always use current date. Next step. And you'll see across the top here all these fields. I'm going to work my way across subject, comps, the adjustments, the summary, the recommendation, and finish. Really, the only place I'm really doing any work here is where I'm searching for the comps. So my subject, I want to auto-populate from an existing. Paste it in there. Submit. It is a 2-bed, 1-bath. It is tiny, 660 square feet. Built in 48. I know that it's a one-stall detached garage. It's a very sharp home for the neighborhood. You can't change 660 square feet, but I don't really feel that I need to add anything else. I also know it's a full basement. If I wanted to add an item, I could go new item, and I don't need to get rid of any of these not being used. But then down here it says select. And I could go in here and pick a number of these things. This goes on and on and on and on. I don't feel the need to do that for my purposes here. Sometimes I'll add lot acres. Sometimes if there is finished square footage in the basement where it's not doing the above grade, I want to do total. Total finished square feet all levels. I might add that one if it's not reported. So that's that. But I'm not going to add any on this, so I'm going to go to my next step where I am looking to find some comparables. Now this is my subject property. I do not want that included in the comparables. So I'm going to uncheck that. And I can actually, I always hit this, show only selected comparables after I work something and, run through my numbers. Maybe I'm getting something that I think should be right, or if it's a little bit wrong, I might chuck a property out. So I have no comparables. I need to add them. You really have two options here, the mapping or the quick search. I generally do the quick search because the mapping is going to grab a whole bunch of stuff and a quarter-mile out, and that may or may not be the exact area that I want. Sometimes I got to go a little bit bigger. Sometimes that's overlapping neighborhoods. First thing I want to do here is I want to make sure I get the pendings and the solds. In my solds, I'm only going back 6 months. So what is that? Well, let's go to here, July 25. And you can see my number counting down over here. It's a huge number right now. I'm also only looking for single family residents. And I'm going to narrow this down real quick by going, hey, it's Holland School District. Okay. Now I always just fill in the minimum. Um, 2 bed, 1 bath. And actually, in this case, we'll see what that gets us. That's only cutting out like 1 bed, 1 bath. I probably want to go for this guy. I can't have more than a 3 bed, and in fact, I'm not going to use any more than 2. So I could probably, you know what? Let's just go 2. I'll leave that blank, and that gets me way closer to what I want. Sometimes I'll fill in the total finished square feet. I know I'm not going to have a price that works for this particular comp. Certainly not over 135. This thing should shake out around 110, 115. Okay, so there's not much there. I also know, though, that I am not going to be using anything probably under 100. Nothing in this particular neighborhood is sold under 100. So I'm down to 33, and let's say I want to view those results. So here's a whole bunch. Probably one of the better things to do is to go over to map, and then I can see where all these things are. So you can see there are so few active homes, the green ones here, with these specs. However, right over here in the upper right is the area that I want to look for. So I can go to my map tool here. Boom, boom, boom. Probably don't need to go across 16 for that guy. These are the guys I'm looking at. That gets me down to 5. That is not much. But those are the exact neighborhood. So here's a 2 bed, 1 bath, but it's about twice the size. I've been in this one. It was also on a slab. Here's our pending one. We're not going to use our own. I sold the rest of these. They were my listings. In fact, this one on Dartmouth was directly behind the subject. None of these homes are as nice as this one, but wow, 660 square feet. So let's just say I'm moving forward with these. I don't have any actives, but I do have solds. And when we're running a CMA, the sold listings, of course, are the only thing that are coming up with your price. So I haven't checked the ones I want. I'm going to go over to the upper right here, return listings to CMA. And here they are. So then I'm going to go to the next step for the adjustments. Now, you've not added any adjustments, probably. Because for me right now, I just click Auto Adjust Comparables. Okay. And I can see that some things were done. If I go to the next step here, the summary, it's pretty simple here. Here's my summary of closed listings. If I had pending listings, that would be next. And then active listings. And then really down here, my overall market analysis. I like to look at average sale to list price, days on market. Over here on the right, there's the average sale to list price, average sold price. I can go to next step. The recommendation that it's giving us is just the average of those. So the low, the adjusted high, and the recommended is the average in between. So if I wanted to go back to my comps, And let's say I'm throwing out Paw Drive here. I don't want to get rid of it yet because I might come back to it. I always come to my adjustments. I remove whatever might have been there. I'm going to rerun them. There's my summary. And it didn't change anything until I click recalculate. Okay, so then I can go to next step. I keep all these here. I don't always print all the pages of the report, but then you want to click save and then save. So if, maybe I'll do that real quick. Save, CMA name, test, save, and it will be in my list here somewhere. There's test. You know what? I want to edit this guy. Just going to bring it back up. I wanted to talk about adjustments with you. So if you don't have any in, you need to go to Edit Adjustment List. And these are the things that I've added from a particular appraiser in town here. We get an updated list every 6 months or so. And this is for, bed, bath, square footage, things like that. I don't have any manuals in there, but I have the list. I can always go add new, and that is what it's using to auto adjust based on the different bed, bath, square footage combinations, acres, things like that. It's taking it all into account. So with that said, this is one way to run a CMA. Of course, the other is go to RPR. If I'm really having a tough time and I'm not sure if this is coming up with the correct number, I'll cross-reference it with RPR to get a more detailed view, because in RPR you can add in specific updates that were done, dollar value, how hot the market is, things like that. So that will conclude this particular video. And let me show you here. I'll save and get out of here. Now here's a good example here. I don't need to go touch anything in here. My test is already highlighted. I need to save it. If I click something else, it would rewrite over that. So there's my test, and let's view it. Here it is. I always like to show this page so folks can see where things are at. Explain the different colors to them. And the subject is always in the left-hand column. The comparables are in the right. And then our summary page is probably more important than what's up here. And then going down to the recommended price. And then here are all the actual listings with the adjustments made. Okay. Hopefully that helps. What you need to do is add in those adjustments, and then you'll be able to just click of a button pretty quick.